What is going on, everybody? It is Sam here with BFPGear.com, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new Planet Eclipse EMF 200. For those that don't know, Planet Eclipse makes the EMF line, which stands for Eclipse Magfed, which means this is a magazine-fed paintball marker. The previous model, the EMF 100, has some really sweet features to it, and well, it's about time the EMF 200 comes out. So with that all said and done, we're going to be taking a look at the EMF 200, and we're going to take it outside and shoot it and see what the hype is about with the new Magfed gun from Planet Eclipse. We're going to see you guys and gals after the intro. Got the EMF 200 here from Planet Eclipse. Currently, I think they're only going to come in one color, and it's just going to be black, but as of right now, they only come in black. The current price point is going to be $924.95. But let's open this bad boy up. Let's see what we get, because not really the biggest like Magfed guy, but Eclipse always makes just really good stuff. But so you get one of the playing cards here. Ooh. Got Glenn Takamoto in this one. I actually might just keep this one because this guy's a legend. If you don't know who that is, you need to brush up on your history. And then, of course, you're going to get that full color manual there as well. So let's go ahead and just move this stuff to the side. And here we have the EMF 200. So it looks like it's already assembled just kind of like the EMF 100, but there are some differences here. First thing I'm noticing right away here is going to be there's no ASA down at the bottom like you would traditionally find on the EMF 100. And this handguard's actually made out of, this M-Lok is actually made out of metal. This is a metal shroud. So it looks really, really good. But let's go ahead and let's just put this to the side so we can get the box out of the way here and just go over all the other stuff here. So we got the EMF, we got the bigger barrel sock there, you get the Eclipse grease, of course. Got to get your full set of Allens, and just like always, you're going to get the full rebuild kit here, and it looks like there's some extra parts as well. So I believe here, actually, let's just open it real quick. So I think this is kind of a cool feature, is this little guy right here. This is the little switch that turns the EMF 200 into an ambidextrous mag release, because instead of the mag release being this traditional one on the side here with this little push pin, you instead put it right here near the mag well, and then you can just push it, and then the magazine comes out. So I think that's a really cool inclusion, just in case you don't like the other style. But of course, you get all the Planet Eclipse goodies, and I think that's actually a really badass thing. Of course, you're going to get the new CF20 Pro mag here. So the CF20 Pro mag is pretty cool because it's got that kind of curved look to it instead of being like a straight mag like on the EMF 100s. And it's got this window here, so you would be able to load it up a lot easier, and you just wind it. So we just go in the direction of this arrow here. So if I just sit here and keep winding it, there's a spring on the inside. And eventually, on the top here, there's this green piece, and that's what pushes the ball into the breech. That's eventually going to go all the way in the back. So let's go ahead and do that, because I need to do this so I can take the window off and show you how to load some paint into this thing. Yeah, the EMF 200 is a Magfed only marker. The EMF 100, which Planet Eclipse is still going to be making, is Magfed, and it can be hopper fed. So it's up to you, whatever you decide you want to do. Make sure I get this thing all the way up there. And then this is the cool thing about the magazine, and this is one thing that I am really stoked about. The the CF20 magazines have like a little dial, and then you can unlock it and pop the thing off. This one, it just comes off. You just lift up, and the whole thing comes out, and then you can load paint in here. You can do 20 shaped rounds, which are basically the first strike rounds, or you can do 21 standard paintballs. And then once you're done loading, you just hook the window back in and just snaps in place, and it's all good to go. So I do like that a lot. And then underneath that, you get a standard barrel sleeve too, just in case. Maybe you have like a longer barrel that goes on the end of the marker. So let's move this off to the side and let's go ahead and get the EMF 200 here. This thing feels really, really good in the hand. I actually like the grip being like almost like a 90-degree angle too. It looks really cool. And then you got Picatinny rail on top here. And then of course this M-Lok handguard. And it's supposed to be compatible with like actual AR style handguards, which I think is a really cool move from Planet Eclipse. So if you have any like firearm parts or something at home, you should be able to interchange all those out. The barrel is going to be the, this is a 4-piece tactical version of the S63. So let's go see if we can remove it here. All right, so we got the barrel out here. So you're looking at a barrel front, or sorry, a muzzle brake, I should say. So we'll just break down all the pieces here. So we got the muzzle brake there, and then we go same direction here. You're going to get that barrel front off, the barrel back, and then of course you've got one S63 insert. So it is a 4-piece 16-inch length barrel, which I would assume is going to make this thing pretty dang quiet when you're shooting. So out in like a Magfed game, like when you're out in the woods and you're trying to like ambush people and get the jump on them, having a quieter paintball marker is essential. So let's go ahead and put this thing back together here. And in traditional fashion, you always have your reverse threaded stuff with Planet Eclipse. So, but this barrel, surprisingly, for being like a 16-inch barrel, it's actually pretty light with everything attached to it. I thought it would be a little bit heavier, but I'm just going to set it off to the side here. We'll put it back on the marker at some point. Another thing that's like really cool too is like you can get access to your detents really easily. All you gotta do is just undo this little guy here. Everything pops right out, which I think is sweet. And then the trigger here is like such an incredibly small pull. So I assume this is gonna be a pretty sensitive marker, but it's pretty stiff though, all things considered. And of course you just have safety on and then it's go time. That's pretty much it. Then we're going to get to my favorite part here about the EMF 200, and that is going to be the bolt system, the ASA, and the on-off. So this is all built into one package, which I think is really sweet, and it literally is just held in by this little top screw here. So we're going to go the opposite direction to loosen it up, and this is just going to pop right out. That's just a retainer screw. And then all you do is you just hold on to the back here where the E is, and then you just pull. And that is the entire bolt system of the EMF 200, which is really, really slick. It's literally the G-Tech 180R core, so it's going to be that OPR core. And then behind it is the regulator pretty much back here, and then you have the on-off ASA. And then you just adjust your velocity just right back here on this little dial. I think this is a really sweet design. This is something that I think I would have personally liked to have seen on maybe the EMF 100, but of course, as you move forward, technology also moves forward, and this is where we're at with it. The other cool thing is that you can't really reinstall this like incorrectly because it kind of hooks into this top piece here. So you just pop the core back in place and just line it up and just pops right in. Get that retainer screw and then just lock it in place. So, but this is the EMF 200. I think there is only going to be one thing left to do here, and that's going to be, we're going to grab an air tank. We're going to load up the magazine with some paint, and then we're going to shoot this bad boy and see how it feels. Well, honestly, before we do that, there are some accessories. The one thing this doesn't come with that I feel like it should come with it, but I know the EMF 100 didn't come with it, is a stock, and there is going to be a stock that is sold separately where it just goes right over your air tank. That's going to be the EMC stock, and that should be coming out pretty soon. I want to say the price point on that is $49.95 at the time of this video being made. But we're just going to go grab an air tank, and we're going to see how the EMF 200 shoots. Got the brand new Eclipse EMF 200 out here. We got the CF20 that it comes with loaded, ready to go. I don't know if we can maybe see that, but you see there's some paintballs in there. But yeah, this is actually going to be like my first experience with a Magfed paintball marker, so I'm looking forward to it. This is also just straight out of the box. We didn't chronograph or anything like that, so let's see how this thing shoots. Oh, that's actually really cool. So just real quick, right there on the magazine, you see that the follower there has already pushed the paintballs up into the breech, so that means it's just ready to go. So there's only one thing left to do, and let's shoot this thing. Let's see how it feels. And again, we haven't chronoed it, so this is straight out of the box. Okay. That's a really, really short trigger pull out of the box. It's actually kind of scary. It's the same core as the 180R, but this is actually something that I think is really cool. And again, I'm not a Magfed guy, so as I'm shooting, that window shows you how many shots are left too, which I think is a really, really sweet thing to have. Yeah, this thing shoots great. Like, I really like it. I'm just gonna shoot the rest of this real quick and just, I wonder how fast I could shoot. Let's see if I can rip it. Oh yeah, you can definitely rip it. And then this is the other cool thing too, is that you know you're empty because when you start trying to shoot, the bolt just gets stopped by that little green piece, the little follower there. So yeah, closing remarks on the EMF 200. Again, I'm not a Magfed guy, but if I were to get into Magfed paintball, this is probably gonna be my choice. And yeah, I really like it. It feels really lightweight. I actually don't mind having the tank as a stock either, so I might be that one dorky guy out there looking like this with the goggles. But this is really nice. I really like this. Just go ahead and disengage the air, and you just do everything right there. That's such a badass design. So I think Eclipse really knocked it out of the park with this one. If you are looking to get into Magfed paintball, or you need to pick up some new Magfed goodies, there's only one place to go, and that's going to be BFPGear.com. The same core as the 180R.